There is a type of person who is almost impossible to deceive, not because they are distrustful or cold, but because they see what others do not. They read the intentions behind the words, anticipate the moves before they happen, and move through the world with a mix of goodness and intelligence that makes them untouchable. We call that quality shrewdness, and contrary to what many believe, it is not at odds with being a good person. In fact, the most powerful combination there is that of a good heart with a sharp mind. The problem is that many good people were never taught to protect themselves, and that is why they live being taken advantage of, deceived, and trampled, confusing goodness with naivety. But that can change. Taking the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and the Stoics, and combining it with the cunning of the great observers of human nature. In this video, you are going to discover 6 keys to become dangerously shrewd, without ceasing to be a good person. You will learn to observe, to not show your hand, to master your emotions, and to think several steps ahead. Not to harm anyone, but so that no one can harm you. Stay to the end, because the last key changes everything. Let us begin. The first step to becoming dangerously shrewd is to understand that being good and being naive are not the same. Many people confuse goodness with gullibility, and that is why they live being taken advantage of again and again. They believe that to be a good person you must trust everyone, say yes to everything, and see no evil in anyone. But that is not goodness, it is blindness, and the world is full of those who know how to take advantage of it. There is an old idea that sums it up well: be gentle as a dove, but shrewd as a serpent. That is, keep your good heart, but pair it with intelligence and eyes wide open. Marcus Aurelius was a just and kind man, but not naive. He began the day reminding himself that he would meet selfish and dishonest people, not to become cynical, but so as not to be surprised. True moral strength is not that of the one who sees no evil, but that of the one who sees it, understands it, and still chooses to act well, but without letting himself be trampled. You can be kind and at the same time clever. You can have a good heart and at the same time not be an easy target. That combination, goodness with cunning, is the most powerful there is, because it lets you be a good person without being anyone's victim. The second step to becoming shrewd is to become a master of silent observation. Information is the raw material of all intelligence, and most people give it away without realizing, talking too much and observing too little. The shrewd one does the opposite, speaks little and watches much. When you enter a room, instead of seeking to draw attention, observe who truly holds power, who is pretending, who is uncomfortable, who says one thing but does another. In silence, you learn everything that noise covers. While others expose themselves telling their plans and their emotions, you accumulate knowledge without spending your own. The great strategists of history were above all great observers of human nature. They knew that understanding people, their desires and their fears, gives an enormous advantage, because it lets you anticipate and not be surprised. It is not about spying or distrusting everyone. It is about being awake instead of going through life on autopilot. Pay attention to details, to what people repeat, to what they avoid, to how they treat others. Each observation is a piece of the puzzle. The one who observes in silence always knows more than the one who will not stop talking, and the one who knows most always has the advantage. The third step of the shrewd one is to not show their hand. We live in an era that rewards telling everything: plans, emotions, intentions. But whoever reveals everything becomes predictable, and the predictable is easy to manage and to outmaneuver. The shrewd one guards their cards. They do not lie or deceive. They simply do not hand over their strategy or their inner world to the first person who asks. When you have a plan, you protect it in silence until it is real, because you know that a project told too soon invites envy and sabotage. When you feel an emotion, you do not display it before someone who could use it against you. There is enormous power in the person who cannot be fully read, because it generates respect and a touch of mystery that commands. Others cannot anticipate you if they do not know what you think or what you will do. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire, kept an impenetrable serenity that did not let his cards be seen. This does not mean becoming closed or false. It means being the owner of what you show and to whom you show it. Share with the one who has earned it, observe the rest, and always keep a part to yourself. The one who hides their hand keeps the advantage, because they always know more about others than others know about them. The fourth step to becoming shrewd is to master your emotions, because the one who does not control what they feel is easy to handle. A person who explodes with anger at the first provocation, who sinks with any criticism, or who is carried away by the enthusiasm of the moment, is totally predictable, and anyone with a little skill can push them wherever they want. It is enough to know which button to press. The shrewd one, by contrast, keeps a cool head. It is not that they do not feel, it is that they do not let the emotion of the moment decide for them. When someone tries to provoke you and you stay serene, you take away all their power, because their tactic depended on driving you out of your mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the mind free of uncontrolled passions is a fortress, the safest place a man can retreat to. That calm is not coldness, it is control. It lets you think clearly when others lose their heads, and the one who thinks clearly in the middle of chaos always has the advantage. Before reacting to something that stirs you, pause, breathe, and decide from reason and not from impulse. The one who masters their emotions is like a player who never shows their nerves at the table. Impossible to read, impossible to manipulate, and for that reason, deeply shrewd. The fifth step of the shrewd one is to think several moves ahead, like in a game of chess. Most people react only to what is in front of them. They live in the short term, decide on impulse, and then suffer the consequences they failed to foresee. The shrewd one, by contrast, before acting asks, and after this, what? What consequences will my decision have? How will the other person react? Which doors do I open and which do I close? It is not about obsessing over controlling everything. That is impossible, but about not advancing blindly. Thinking ahead lets you anticipate problems before they happen, see others' moves before they make them, and choose the right moment to act. The great strategists did not improvise. They observed the whole board and planned. This capacity to look beyond the instant is what separates the one who directs their life from the one who only reacts to it. Before making an important decision, stop and play the game in your mind. Imagine the different scenarios, foresee the reactions, prepare your responses. So, when the moment comes, it will not catch you off guard, because you will have already seen it coming. The one who thinks several steps ahead is rarely surprised, and the one who is not surprised almost never loses. The sixth and final step to becoming dangerously shrewd is to master patience, because time, well used, is the most powerful weapon there is. Most people want everything now, act in haste, give themselves away out of impatience, and make mistakes by not knowing how to wait. The shrewd one understands that many battles are won simply by knowing how to await the right moment. Patience lets you not react in the heat of the moment. Let situations mature, observe how others show their cards while you guard yours. Time bears the truth, exposes the false, undoes lies, and places each thing in its place, and the one who knows how to wait sees it all clearly. The Stoics mastered this art. They did not let themselves be dragged by urgency or impatience. They knew that acting at the wrong moment ruins even the best plan. Knowing how to wait is not passivity, it is strategy. It is choosing the precise instant to move, when you have all the information and the advantage is on your side. Impatience is the mistake of the weak. Patience is the strength of the wise. Learn to not be in a hurry, to let things reveal themselves, to act only when the moment is yours. Combine goodness with cunning, calm with observation, and patience with precise action, and you will become someone very hard to deceive and even harder to defeat. We have walked through the 6 keys to become dangerously shrewd together. Be good, but not naive. Observe in silence. Do not show your hand. Master your emotions. Think several steps ahead, and make patience your weapon. If you notice, none of these keys consists of deceiving or harming anyone. True shrewdness is not malice. It is intelligence in the service of your own protection. It is the difference between the lone dove, which anyone hunts, and the dove that flies with the cunning of the serpent, which no one can catch. Keep your good heart, because it is what makes you a valuable person, but always pair it with eyes wide open and a sharp mind. That way no one will be able to take advantage of your goodness. Start today with just one of these keys. Observe a little more, speak a little less, or pause before reacting. Little by little you will become someone very hard to deceive. As Marcus Aurelius did, be just and kind, but never naive. If this video added something for you, give it a like and subscribe for more wisdom on the mind and power every night. And remember, goodness without cunning is weakness, but goodness with cunning is power. See you in the next one. Take care.